We'll have to see how right, because I mean, I suppose Winstrike haven't really given anything away, because the Spirit Breaker can be played 3, 4, and 5 as well. Prophet, like you say, can be played in any of the core positions. Really,
Hmm.
OD made a North lane.
I mean,
Um,
we've even seen carry and mid Spirit Breaker. This hero is just too strong not to pick.
yeah, probably got some nerfs incoming that are going to make T Governor cry when it does hit.
Uh-huh. Like, enjoy the next week of playing Spirit Breaker because afterwards he's gonna be unplayable. Mark my words.
As no, no, I still need to get my Cavern Crawl done with him. I have to get that done tonight.
Dire team pick.
So Gambit pick up the Snapper. I was thinking about this hero with the Clockwork, obviously being able to drop the cogs and then throw the Mortimer Kisses over the top. I suppose the Sand King offers a little bit more utility with that as well, with being able to Burrow Strike into multiple heroes as well.
Mm-hmm.
10
Yeah, very nice
seconds
pick here.
remaining.
Even has some
Radiant
defensive
team
utility
back.
getting out of the Sprout.
Diana.
Right, I would expect that to be the second support here.
Hmm. So, again, Nature's Prophet enabling the Marana Arrow with the Sprout. So, unless somebody has a Quelling Blade, but who would really
10
have one of
seconds
those?
remaining.
Yeah, who buys Quelling Blade these days except for every single
5
Koi
seconds
hero
remaining.
and sometimes supports as well.
So that's more than likely Winstrike looking for the carry here. Anything that you think? I mean, because you've talked about the Razor being able to take away the advantage from the lifestealers from the Lunas. Is there anything you think Winstrike should be looking towards? Because I suppose they've got the building hitter and the Nature's Prophet, OD with the Meteor Hammer as well. So maybe more of a team fighter, maybe?
Uh-huh. Usually I would say Lifestealer against Cloak, Sand King, and Snapfire, but Lifesteal against Razor feels awful. Um, so something like PA would be good, but PA is banned. Would have been really nice together with
10
the
seconds
tempo that
remaining.
Winstrike is trying to play.
Juggernaut?
What else is
Seconds
there?
remaining.
Terrorblade is decent.
He's also banned.
Ah, also banned. Goodness, everything is banned. Poor carry players, they don't get to play anything. I would say Morphling, actually.
Yeah. Though
Dire team back.
the Wraith King gets removed. I suppose that's more push potential, more building hitters when the skeletons pop up as well. He's a big right clicker. Again, the Wraith Fire Blast can set up for things like the Marana Arrow, so offers more
Mm-hmm.
control. Oh, okay. And are we thinking this is the
10
Razor position 1
seconds
again
remaining.
for Gambit?
I think that
Radiant
is quite
team
likely.
pick.
Oh, CK ban, interesting. They won against it last game, but they still don't want to play against it.
No. I mean, it worked really well last game. I think the only reason that. Not the only reason that they won, but the reason that it didn't do as well as
10
I thought it was
seconds
going to do
remaining.
because of the Ursa pick. And Ursa having the Lincolns on it, the Lotus Orb on it,
5
the
seconds remaining.
Earth Shock Enrage, and the normal Enrage as well. You know, the Ursa was a bit unkillable, but looking at Winstrike's lineup here, that Chaos Knight could actually run rampant through this entire 4-man lineup so far.
Mm-hmm.
10 seconds remaining.
What have they
Right,
got?
Winstrike, what do they still need? I think a
5
carry with
seconds
either
remaining.
built in magic immunity or a carry that builds BKB. I still think Morphling is a very solid option. What else could they go for? I guess they could go for a Void, but Void doesn't look very appealing against all of these disables.
Yeah.
They could... Nah, Ursa's banned as well. My goodness, what is there even left in this game?
Juggernaut, Spectre, Carry Pudge.
Ah, yeah, carry Pudge. How could I forget about that one? I think Jug looks okay, but Jug is kind of too slow.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to play it into Night Stalker or Snapfire. They go Monkey King, interesting. I wouldn't say this is a spectacularly good Monkey King game. Because as I said, there is a lot of disable on Gambit. So he's gonna need to have a quick BKB. On the flip side, if they can get aggression off, I think Monkey King can really snowball here. If he has like Echo Saber BKB, there is no hero that can stand against him.
Yeah. And it looks like it's actually the core Spirit Breaker, so it is going to be the mid lane OD. Core Spirit Breaker, Force Majeure back on the Mirana, Seneko on the Nature's Prophet. So it's going to be the position 5 Nature's Prophet with the hack in lane up against, looks like Sayu and Afterlife. On the Snapfire. See, that's a weird one to me. If the Snapfire goes for the Scatterblast as well, Nature's Prophet, the big advantage of the lane, right, is supposed to be the Treants. That you can overwhelm the enemy heroes, but Snapfire with the Scatterblast, it's a lot of damage come out against those Treants just from the one spell. And Night Stalker's not a slouch when it comes to right clicking as well, so those Nature's the Treants, I don't know if they're going to be as impactful as they're supposed to be in this offlane, in the safe lane for the Nature's Prophet, the offlane for Sayu as well as the Night Stalker.
We'll see. Of course, Nature's Prophet is still also a high damage ranged hero, which tends to help. But yeah, they picked support Prophet into a Clockwork. I'm gonna have to predict that Gambit takes this one.
Okay, well, we know my track record, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go with Winstrike. They impressed me in that last game, and obviously they are the greater team until proven otherwise. So they have my full support and confidence. It is going to be the mid Sand King again. So up against the OD. OD's not going to be coming out with a... Is there going to be any sentries here? Looking on the side of Winstrike. There is one on Mirana.
Is this creep gonna die? Oh, 3 and down. 3 gold for Smiling Knight. Huge gold advantage for Gambit.
And he's going to be ahead in terms of last hits for at least the next 30 seconds. That's a massive gap to try and close.
Look at the XP lead as well. It's huge.
It's just trending upwards all the way. But yeah, looking through the OD and the Sand King, how does this lane play out? Or in your estimations, how does this play out?
The battle begins.
Sand King is gonna get free farm up until the Meteor Hammer for OD. After which it's not gonna be that much fun for SK anymore. That being said, OD is gonna be able to farm just fine before that as well. So it's just gonna be a lot of farming. Oh, now we have a gold lead for Winstrike. Did they get 3 bounties? Yes, they did.
Yeah, they did. Just want to see what Melodule goes for at level 1. He's actually going to go for the Caustic Finale. I suppose because the OD doesn't have the... I mean, it's 450 attack range still. So he doesn't need to be, you know, super in close for these last hits.
He does secure the range creep with it, which is very nice for him. Definitely gonna be a big factor. On the top lane, we see the Hack having a great time up against this Night Stalker. And this is gonna remain the case until nighttime hits. And even then, Monkey King should be absolutely fine in this top lane.
Yeah.
And the same thing could be said for Smiling Knight in the bottom lane. So he's playing against a melee offlaner as a Razor, which is always just an absolute treat.
So does he want to be running down Notice any chance he gets with a static link? Maybe getting help with it, because the battery assault is already there, so that's going to slow down Notice if he tries to get away. So is that just you do just get aggressive onto the melee offlaners when this comes out, this kind of matchup?
You want to be a little bit aggressive, but at the same time you have to respect just straight up combo potential from Spirit Breaker and Mirana, because charge into arrow is gonna be a lot of damage, even if you do steal like 25 damage. So that's the reason why he's not instantly going for a static link and running people down. He is respecting the damage from Winstrike.
Okay. Pantomime is at level 2 now, so what's he going to go for? Level 2 onto pretty much everybody on this lane. I think, yes, Smiling Knight as well. So there is a lot of control, like you say. Aurora's going to be used to clean up the range group though. Are they going to try and make a move? The static link does come out. The battery shot's going to be onto Force Majeure. They're going to try and chase down Plasma Field. Comes out. Notice trying to run himself away. Not going to be using that charge. Doesn't need to use it defensively just yet. As Force Majeure with a leap should be able to get out safe. Meanwhile, on the top lane, Sayu trying to pull through. Seneko is going to be able to play this kind of old school jungle support where he just comes in whenever. We saw the Chens doing that a lot. You know, when you come into the lane whenever your carry got in trouble. But for the most part, you can just use the treants and get some extra farm and try and build yourself up like you described as like this position 4.5 and not a dedicated 5. Mid lane, Melojule taking a lot of damage. The sentry is down now, so Melojule, he needs to be careful because if he gets gone on by Dodrin, Dodrin's using the Astral Imprisonment as well as the orbs just to throw out the splash damage onto Melojule. Melojule has been taking a lot to the face.
Looks like mid lane is going pretty much as expected.
Yeah.
Both heroes just farming, having fun.
I mean, like I say, with the sentry being down though, Melojule, if he comes too far forward, this just happens. The imprisonment into right clicks and the it's only good with the crown coming through. I thought he might have had oh, he does have the Ring of Health. So yeah, has a little bit more here on the OD. So he's going to be able to sustain from the aggression of the Sand King, and Sand King, well, it's going to be traded right back onto him until this sentry gets dealt with, which he does. Gets his own sentry down and is able to clean that one up.
Yeah,
Which
very nice for him.
Just gets immediately traded back from Dodrin.
I mean, the sentry control is very important here.
I feel
Can't
like
really blame them.
that's going to be half the net worth, so is this sentry battle. To the point where they probably end up calling their supports into the mid lane and just saying, spend all of your gold onto sentries.
Middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, I wonder if they actually bought the sentries themselves. Nope, it's Seneko for Winstrike. And it's Pantomime for Gambit.
Well,
These are the real victims of war.
it's just supports doing the jobs, right? Life
Yep.
lessons and all of that. It's bottom lane. They might be able to get the first blood here. They are going to be able to take down Notice. Smart Knight picks that one up. So, they change the targets onto Force Majeure. Force Majeure with 2 leaps available. A couple of rights has come through from Smiling Knight. So, he's going to be taking some harass. But, yeah, that first blood going the way of Knight. He's having a decent time here. 26 last hits and a first blood too. That's going to be doing wonders for his early game start.
He's gonna be going for the Falcon Blade +1, just like next game. I wouldn't expect any big innovation on Razor. He's just gonna go for BKB into Refresher again. It's just such a good build.
Yeah.
Even helps him farm, because getting the mana from the Refresher is really nice for spamming out Plasma Field.
Yeah,
On
and
top lane, Seneko.
they're going to be able to get this. The TP comes out. Seneko is going to be able to get away. Cookie was already used, and Afterlife didn't have the void to stop the TP. But how's this lane looking? 16 to 33 in terms of last hits. Monkey King having a really good time in this lane. I guess the 1 point into the Jingu Mastery is just enough to keep the Night Stalker tamed in this lane. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Seneko did TP and the cogs get dropped, but not in range of Seneko, so he's not going to be dragged back into tower range. There's not going to be a follow-up here. Burrow Strike was on cooldown anyway. So he's just going to walk himself in. Scatterblast comes out now as well, slowing down onto Dodrin. Charge into the Cookie comes out, but Astral Imprisonment keeps the aggression away. Pantomime has a battery assault as well as the cogs, but he's going to be taking some aggression of his own. Force Majeure with the Starstorm, able to pick up a kill. But it did mean that you forced 4 heroes into the mid lane here from the side of Winstrike.
And now Meteor Hammer is completed for Dodran. So no more fun for Melojule.
Has it ever been fun for Melojule throughout these 2 games? Monkey King's
I
even
hope
moving
so.
well.
This is his career and his life. If he's not having fun, why is he here?
Because it's hard work. Hard work isn't supposed to be fun, as I was always told at previous jobs. But I like this. This is hard work and fun. But I'm not a player. I just get to talk about the games. There's literally no pressure on me.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Until you miss a kill and chat calls for you to be fired.
Ah, it's fine. We have the T-Tors. That's what that's for.
That's when it's nice to have an observer, so you as a caster can just speak.
Yeah, yeah.
Have moderately interesting insight and some shitty jokes, and then everything is fine.
I actually don't mind doing my own observing. It's one of those things that I just like to have control over, you know, because in games where the action's going left, right, and center, and you're trying to call one thing, and then you've got to jump over. If you have the control, it doesn't matter what's happening off camera. Though I suppose that's the same. If you have the cookie comes through, they're going to be able to get the stun. It was the balance strike to connect onto Sayu. So Sayu gets killed off by the hack. Has those Jingu Mastery stacks now as well. Going to be using them just onto the neutrals. His Afterlife. He's got his phase boots. What's speaking up the broom handle? Yeah, I suppose that's going to maybe give that over to Malajul. But I suppose he's going to be happy with the Fairies Trinket at the minute. Smiler Knight inside the jungle. What's Major? Trying to steal some creeps away from me. He's even using that Eye of the Storm here for some extra farm speed. And the arrow doesn't connect.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Eye of the
The
Storm.
Afterlife? Ooh. He's going for a Mask of Madness on Night Stalker. We weren't gonna see any innovation on the Razor, but this looks innovative.
Dire's middle tower is under
Yeah.
attack.
Is it? I guess you just...
Dire
Is it worth
are
it though?
scanning.
Because you want to be using
No,
your voids
it's
in the
not.
fight. Yeah.
I mean, you already have the attack speed from your passive. You don't really care about lifesteal, and having Echo Saber gives you damage and good build up into BKB. But he's like, nah, I just gotta hit faster, man. It's like the... I saw Mask of Madness Lina the other day. I was like, technically, yeah, it gives some added value. It's just not better than buying something else.
Yeah. And I wouldn't even say Mask of Madness on Alina's good because that...
It's awful, truly awful.
Yeah, because it closes you, you have fiery spirits, oh, fiery souls.
Her attack speed went from 0.25, I mean 1 attack per 0.27 seconds to 1 attack per 0.24 seconds.
Dire's top tower
And that's
is under
2000
attack.
gold right there.
I suppose you can always split it up for a Satanic Orchid later on. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm grasping at straws.
Satanic Mask of Madness into Satanic Orchid. I think that's the true new Lina meta.
They're going to be able to go. The Nether Strike comes on to Malajul now as well, with the ring coming through on that Wukong Summon. The Boundless Strike, the Cookie, not going to be able to get himself to the edge. Oh, he has to use the Burrow Strike there to get himself out of danger because he was close to death.
Yeah, that's where it really helps to be a strength mid. Just having the innate 1200 HP. Because a Lina with BOTs there would definitely have died.
Yeah, and the infused raindrop helping out as well, I think.
Right, we have the Mask of Madness on the Night Stalker. He fully committed. Maybe he
Okay.
can split the Mask of Madness and still buy an Echo Saber.
Yeah, you can always, and I suppose lifesteal is always nice. He could go for a Vlad's, you never know.
Radiant
Oh
structures
goodness,
are
you
under
like
attack.
get a build-up item to build into your build-up item for your BKB. So smart. Like this guy is just 2 levels ahead of us.
The 6D chess plays.
Radiant's bottom
I mean,
tower
it
is
does
under
help
attack.
with farming during daytime. It's not the worst item. It's a lot better than on Lina. It's
True.
still just a little bit questionable.
The gank
Ooh,
comes down on all
Malajul.
5 heroes, even dropping the sanities for that, making sure
Right.
that Sun King didn't get out.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
That's some hate.
Yeah, it looks like Winstrike. I mean, it's only 2 to 3, but they're grouping up. They want to put their stamp on this game. They want to be taking the momentum in their favor. And I mean, Gambit.
By the way, Rob, I think the logos are switched around. I'm not sure if...
Oh, they might be. Yeah, it might not have updated.
That's something worth keeping in mind. Otherwise, poor chat is so confused.
Yeah, they didn't update on OBS. TinyIO, it doesn't always swap. Let me just refresh that.
Alright, all good.
There we
Smiling
go.
Knight working towards a BKB.
Dire's middle tower is
Melushiel trying to get a blink, but with the death he's kind of set back.
Dire are scanning.
This is the usual build that we see on the Sand King mids, though. The boots of travel into the Blink Dagger, and it doesn't look the best in the early game, just because obviously it's a lot of utility coming after the Sand King. But then after that, what do you really want to be building up to? You know, because at some point you're going to be looking to the overwhelming Blink, but that's that's way in the future. What comes between the two? Just the normal Blink and the overwhelming Blink.
Is under attack.
And what comes
I feel like he
between?
needs a BKB.
Yeah.
Against OD you can't afford not getting it.
Do you think at this this game he actually goes for Yules as well, or do you think that's more for the offlane Sand Kings kind of
Yeah.
build?
Those kind of small in-between items, they really hinder your progression towards actual meaningful items, I think.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
It's still decent because you're against like a Monkey King and an Aegis Prophet, and it's even very good at shutting down the charge, but all things considered, I'm not sure if it's worth it.
Yeah.
It's really nice when you get it, but later on it's just kind of a wasted item slot.
Okay.
Because on offlane you want to be that nice and slippery hero that goes for crazy plays, but on mid lane you're kind of supposed to carry the game in a way.
Yeah.
So you want to have big items like E-Blade and Shivas and BKB.
What do you think then that would it be the? I suppose it would be the Shivas, because you could always get Smiling Knight to go for the AC, maybe even Afterlife on the Night Stalker as well, who he's committed to this massive madness. Like you say, the daytime farm speed, it's all right, I guess.
Gotta
And
go fast.
yeah, I suppose once you've thrown out the Crippling Fear Void and Dark Ascension once in a fight, you can get the extra attack speed with the Mask of Madness.
Dire's
So it's not awful. Speaking about not awful, they might be able to pick up a kill onto Notice here now as well, with the center coming out, the hook comes in right close. Arrow's going to fly through, but they do get it off before he gets the charge away. And Smiling Knight is able to pick up another kill. And he's not too far off the BKB as well, only about 700 gold away. So he's going to be able to pick that one up in the next minute or so.
Ooh, and Seneko is
Dire's
rushing
middle tower is
Aghanim's.
under attack.
This is giving me flashbacks to some awful pub game that I played where my Nature's Prophet just bought Aghanim's Refresher and Octarine Core and just kept pushing lanes and not doing anything in the game. I hope Seneko can prove me wrong, but I really don't like this build.
I suppose it offers extra control that's going to keep them in a fight. Oh, Mildew gets a kill onto Force Majeure. Yeah, if you get that off in a fight with them grouped up, you're going to keep them rooted. How long's the root on that?
It's between 2 and 3.8 seconds.
So, at minimum 2 seconds lockdown inside of Wukong's command. More for the supports, I guess, than the carries. Because I assume it doesn't go through BKB, the route.
Right. That is a very valid explanation. Another one is that Seneko just doesn't want to play support and he just wants to take creeps from his team.
Yeah, this is kind of how the support Nature's Prophet goes, where you pick up yourself like an Ags, or you go for the Orchid and into the Desolator, and
Dire's structure
you're
Like someone
supporting.
takes you a mid and you're like, I'll support you. And you pick Prophet, you buy Midas, and you ruin his game.
Yeah, well, no, you support the team by getting kills. Speaking about getting kills, are they able to take Notice down? The Cookie's going to be there for the extra stun, and Knight will pick up another kill here. What's he on now? 3-0-1, so a little bit of a better start than the last game. Nearly walked himself into an arrow. As Monkey King, he's dancing around the trees, he's trying to get himself away, but Sand King's close with the invis, so he's going to be scouted out by the Rock Flare, the Blink forward, and it's going to be the Bonus Strike Connect. Epicenter going to be channeled now as well. Monkey King, is he going to be able to get himself away from this? Tahak going to be taking a lot of damage. A lot of damage. The Sandstorm even going to be effective now. Tries to dodge off the Scatterblast with the Mischief. But Knight still there for the next kill.
Very nice kill there onto Tahak. Let's see if Gambit can keep this momentum going. Because it is nighttime now and they have a lot of their big items. They have the Blink on Sand King. They have the BKB on Razor. They're starting to build onto the Yules on Sand King, invalidating my entire train of thought. Nothing too special here.
The cookie comes out. That was a really nice... The observer ward on the cliff as well. The hook comes in and force majeure stays locked down. Yeah, some really nice vision, some really nice foresight there from Sasayu to get to line up the cookie. And as it goes, Monkey King's not doing too well in terms of net worth, behind by about 2,000 gold
Dire are scanning.
on the Razor.
And he didn't go for something like Echo Saber or a farming item. It's Falcon Blade, Orb of Corrosion straight into BKB. So he is gonna be very strong in these fights as soon as he does finish his BKB.
Backlines, they're actually going to be able to go into Sneko. Sneko gets locked down, so his partially built Ag's not going to be able to save his life there, but the Balance Strike comes out with the Wukong's command. Where's the follow-up damage? The arrow's not going to connect, so they're going to try and go to Meljul. Meljul will be stunned up. Cookie not going to be able to save his life in time. The reveal comes out on the backline, so Pantomime going to try and go for the TP. Anything to stop this. It's going to be the Nether Strike committed here. One more right click, and the Hack will be able to pick up that kill onto Pantomime. So it's going to be 9-5, and Winstrike, do they want to carry on going here with 2 heroes dead? It looks like they do. There's going to be an arrow, but the blink forward from Afterlife. Is it just going to be the point blank? No, it's not going to be the point blank arrow here from Force Majeure. Charge up onto the mid lane creeps as well near these tier 2 towers. So yeah, Noticed is out. Suneko's back onto the top lane. He's not too far away from finishing that Ags as well. Only about 200 gold, so this creep wave will have it in the bag. Speaking about having it in the bag, Force Majeure, the cookie comes out, and Afterlife has that kill in the bag.
I was meant to have this.
Afterlife is very strong right now. He's probably one of the most scary heroes on the map right now. And he attacks so fast, bro. So fast. Look at him. Zoom.
Yeah, gotta go fast. He's gonna go for the BK, so he's not even gonna go for... Yeah, so no Echo Saber for him, no build-up items. It is just gonna be the Mask of Madness.
In terms of raw DPS, there aren't that many builds that have more.
I'm just thinking because the timing on the active lifesteal for 6 seconds, you know, that's what's the timing on a void? So 8 seconds. So yeah, you can get, if you get all your spells off, you use the void last. It is going to be timing quite nicely with the Mask of Madness, so that once it wears off, you are going to be unsilenced again for the timing for another void.
I mean, Afterlife is redefining the meta as we speak.
Well, we'll have to see if anyone else picks it up after this game happens. Meljul. There is a double damage rune though. There's going to be the 4-man smoke coming through from the side of Winstrike. With Suneko that can TP into the fight. He has the Ags up, so he's going to be able to throw it around. Rocket Flare, not going to be spotting anybody. Which way to Winstrike want to go?
He's going to be able to steal creeps so efficiently from his teammates. Every second creep wave he can steal. That is some insane value.
Yeah. I still think it's there for the lockdown on the Wukong's command.
Right, of course. These are professional players, after all.
Yeah, they wouldn't tilt. They don't try and upstage their teammates. As
Both teams pretty gathered right now. Gambit gonna be going for a smoke, aside from Smiling Knight, who just bulks in.
Are scanning.
He
Yeah.
doesn't care.
Smiling Knight's the one on the hook. The plasma field does come through. Notice he's going to be able to get the charge BKB off from Smiling Knight. No, the epicenter of the back lines. Are they going to be able to at least get the kill onto the Spirit Breaker? Spirit Breaker, the hook comes in. So he's still going to be in the Sandstorm. Forced back by the Cogs now as well. Dahaki's going to be left alone. He's separated from the rest of his team, it looks like, from that low ground. So he's going to try and TP out. Do they have the damage? They don't. So he does get the TP away now. They change targets onto the OD. OD's going to be able to TP himself out. And they can start on Roche here, Gambit. It's going to be Meljul moving himself down to the bottom lane, just helping to push that one out. But yeah, 3-4 heroes around on this Roshan and Winstrike. They're going to try and surge out as quickly as possible towards this. Still have some ultimates up there as well, with the Sanity's Eclipse. 14 seconds, but Roshan is going to go down. Are they going to try and fight this one out? Pantomime's pretty low. If you want to try and get the pick off, Sandy's Eclipse does get dropped, so they get the kill. And now the chase, the tree dance, and the Primal Spring. Sayu was at Boundless Strike. It is available in 14 seconds, but there's going to be the TP in from Seneko. Seneko probably needs to go a little bit more forward. There's going to be the Sprout, though, coming through. And the second Sprout. The root and the Sprout as they look for the Meteor Hammer. So Sayu, the arrow does connect, and it looks like the charge should finish the kill here. Boundless Strike even going to go into the Night Stalker with that
as well.
Nether Strike. Yeah, they should be able to take him down. So they lost one fight, but straight after that, Aegis is picked up. Really nice connections here coming through from Winstrike.
This is some chain feeding from Gambit. Just losing heroes one by one. They don't have the Aegis on Smiling Knight, and he's gonna have his refresher soon as well, so this Razor is gonna be a huge threat. And Dodran closing into a BKB as well, and they're gonna have trouble on Gambit dealing with this BKB OD. Only the Razor can really deal with him, but ideally you wanna have the Razor taking down the Monkey King.
Yeah. I didn't even realize he had a Hand of Midas as well. That he's got the 4 staff so he can save people, like you were talking about in the draft. He can save people from the cogs. And it's, what is he, 2-0 and 4, 175, 176 in terms of last, second on the net worth. So even if it's not the greatest game for Winstrike at the minute, he's having a really good game on this hero.
There is a Yules on Mirana as well, so that's gonna help a little bit with setup. Clockwork working towards Spirit Vessel. And Snapfire does have the shard. So Sayo opted to not buy a Blink Dagger and buy a Force Staff instead, which is pretty good against heroes like Monkey King and Spirit Breaker, but it is gonna hinder his initiation a little bit. And Melajewel and Pantomime have to be careful here.
Yeah, the dust comes out. They're going to be able to get the charge into the Wukong's command. Back on the back lines now as well. Clockwork's going to get rooted up. Drops his cogs, but the hack, what's he going to be able to do? Because the hook shot does come in. Monkey King going to get really darn low. Is he going to try and get himself out of this? Razor picks up the kill. And now the chase is on. It looks like the multiplications are going to be used. I think they'll be able to do enough damage onto Seneko. Yeah, the right clicks from Afterlife. With the attack speed of the Mask of Madness.
That's a really deep dive.
Yeah. I'm not 100% sure why they went for that. I suppose they picked up Melgil, maybe thinking that the rest of Gambit was on the other side of the map. But
I mean, killing the enemy mid is a very noble goal. It just cost them too much.
yeah,
Because Clockwork was there as well, so he could instantly cancel the TP from the Monkey. Because if Monkey got out there, it would have been a decent fight for Winstrike.
do you think after the Spirit Vessel coming out with the Clockwork here, does he want to be going to a quick Ags, or is there something else that you want to pick up for the clock?
Dire's bottom tower
I mean, if
is
he
under
can get the
attack.
axe, it's very good. I think it's more likely that he goes for something like a Force Staff next.
Our
Yeah.
It's a bit more affordable.
The charge comes out. There's going to be the dust reveal now as well, but if you want to try and go... Never mind. Sand King just going to blink himself up onto the high ground. Just making sure there's no reprisal if he get himself away from that gank. Where's that charge going to come through? It's on to Smiling Knight. Smiling Knight has this Aegis for the next minute and 10 seconds. So Nether Strike gets committed. The right clicks. Are they going to be able to take him down? The bash.
Nice bash.
Yeah. Now maybe the root, but back lines, they're going to be able to go. Wukong command once again. And do they have the lockdown to Smiling Knight? Smiling Knight pops his BKB. There is going to be the tree, so it's going to be a lot of lockdown. Even the clock trying to come in with a hook, but he's going to be taken down. The hack gets himself the double kill. Sayu with the TP away. Yeah, they're not going to be able to get vision on these heroes. Afterlife is out, and only Melajewel hanging around. Melajewel, though, with the haste rune, he's just going to be able to hide himself in the trees. 15 seconds before that TP's back up, so he's just going to be hanging around with the blink. He comes out with the shard onto the... Well, what's the reveal? Because Dodran, if he gets into too much trouble, can just Astral Imprisonment himself. There's going to be the TP in from Seneko. All 5 heroes from the side of Winstrike collapsing onto the Sand King. And Sand King going to collapse under his own weight there. Or the weight of Winstrike's gank.
Yeah, very nice kill there from Winstrike once again. Starting to gain some momentum in this game.
Yeah. And so he did have the cookie in case he got into trouble, because that would have been diving the tier 3 towers. So the charge is cancelled here from Noticed, who's going to be going towards his Axe. He's already got his BKB up and out. Did he be able to get the blink? It's going to be the Dark Ascension coming through. Multiple kisses are going to be used here now as well. Tahak going to get pretty down low. Has his BKB if he needs to use it, which is will. There's going to be the Nether Strike onto Afterlife. Afterlife. Is he going to be able to get himself away from this? Just goes for the old fly away now. The hook onto the backline. And Spirit Breaker with the BKB. But it looks like they might be able to chase down this. Dodrin though throws the Sanity Eclipse out. Takes Afterlife down. And it looks like Dodrin will be able to TP. Noticed charge in 4 seconds.
Radiant's bottom tower.
TP comes out a little bit quicker. Okay.
Winstrike looking very good here, very measured in their aggression. Like they back off and then they notice an opening onto the Night Stalker. They don't quite get the kill, so they back off as a team. And then he comes in a little bit too deep and Dodrin just drops the hammer, but everyone still TPs out and is completely safe, so no overextensions from Winstrike. I guess they learned from that one tower dive at the tier 2 bottom.
Yeah, Noticed is going to be charging in. Is that onto the clockwork as well? It is. So Force Majeure, does he have the arrow angle? It looks like it might actually connect onto a creep. But with that Nature's Wrath, they should be able to get the root, get that kill. And, well, the creep gets it, but the 2 heroes helped. And that's the main part. I suppose the 3 heroes with Suneko joining in with the Nature's Wrath as well.
I mean, at least Suneko bought a Solar Crest next and now has a 4-staff queued up as well, instead of going for a bloody Octarine refresher. So he's actually going to be useful, and I am pleased.
And that's really going to line up with the Monkey King going for the Desolator, the Orb of Corrosion as well. That's a lot of minus armor coming out just on 1 hero. So their Roche with these 3 items just got so much more fast. Duh.
And Suneko has overtaken Noticed. He's about to overtake Melajul as well. It's a matter of time before he overtakes the Huck and Afterlife as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see him topping the net worth in like 5 minutes or maybe 10 minutes from now. Because this is what Prophet does well. I mean, there is a reason why people call him Nature's Prophet.
I'm just going to let that one hang. It's not even worth a response.
Right. This is why I'm here.
And Spirit Breaker going towards that Axe as well. He's only about 1400 gold away from completing. Suneko, he's going to queue up the full Wind Waker. So it's going to be another Yule Scepter. Would you rather... Is this Yule's a good pickup for the Nature's Prophet, do you think?
It is weird. I mean, he's going to be super rich, so he's one of the few heroes that can actually afford it.
Yeah.
But Wind Waker, you almost never see that build. It is supremely powerful to have another save on a support that usually doesn't have it.
Yeah.
But it's also just very expensive for very little useful stats. Like you buy 7,000, you spend 7,000 gold for 50 movement speed pretty much, because the intelligence and mana regen are wasted.
Oh, that hook! The root comes out, and now the Wukong's command gets dropped. The cogs for the clockwork working against their own master. Did you see that? Suneko was on the tree around... I don't know how to draw, and the fight's going to carry on going, so we'll talk about it in a little bit. Smile now, the BKB does come out. Notice has to back himself away, still has that Nether Strike, will connect onto the night. But the cookie comes out, so he's going to be on the right side of the base if he needs to get himself away. Asteroid's going to be a good 4-man. It's not a 5-man there with the Epicenter, but Melajul will still go down. BKBs from Dahak as well as Dodrin. Yeah, so the Monkey King was on this tree here. I can draw it. So this tree here. Dove away with the tree dance and then Primal Spring himself into the river, and the hook came through, but it was onto the Night Stalker. So Dahak was just free to move himself out, reposition. The cogs didn't even land in the right position either. Threw out that Wukong's command. Amazing just bit of heads up play there from Dahak. Or maybe it was just lucky timing, but whatever it was, really good start to the fight that gets them another Roche.
They're looking to be in a commanding position right now.
Yeah, and Pantomime has to hook out. He drops the cogs. The arrow's going to be off the mark. He's going to be able to get himself out of this. Guild Scepter comes out here from Force Majeure. And it looks like they have the lockdown with the Balance Strike now as well. So Pantomime, for the second time in about a minute, going to be killed off here. Dahak getting himself a dominating streak.
How do they stop this push now? They don't have a Sand King. The BKB is on cooldown for the Razor. What can they do?
I don't know. The cookie comes out. It's just going to be a saving cookie, it looks like now. But yeah, all these trains coming through. Prophet has himself the Aghanim Shard and Scepter now as well, so he's going to have these bigger I guess we call them the trains. The Wukong Command once again going to be used. Smile Knight is going to be able to get himself out. The Cookie just forces him further into the ring. And he's dead, no buyback. 66 seconds for Winstrike just to run absolutely mental inside this base. And you can see Seneko moving himself around with the Sprout, just waiting for that to wear off. The train should be coming up in the next couple of seconds as well, as the greater trains do get pops. And this train army, well, you don't really need much more. Meljule's going to try and do what he can with the epicenter from the shard, with the sandstorm now as well. But this tier 3 tower looks like it is still going to take a dive. Can't be Megas because there is still a tier 2 tower in the mid lane. The balance strike off the mark. But they don't care because Dahak can just sustain. He's got himself the Aegis for the next 3.5 minutes. And 30 seconds without the clockwork, without the Razor. What can Gambit do?
That's a good question. I'm not even sure, because it's gonna be so hard for them to leave the base, because a lot of heroes on Winstrike, they capitalize so well on the enemy not having vision. Like Spirit Breaker out of nowhere, Monkey King in the trees. Like, good luck leaving your base. And I don't think Gambit really has the tools to defend this for a long time. They have decent deep push in their lineup, but with so much minus armor from Winstrike, it's gonna be so hard.
And the ultimates, well, the Wukong's Command's back up. The only ultimate down for Winstrike is the Moonlight Shadow. So is this where Winstrike group up? Maybe look for the killing blow? Or at least Mega Creeps?
I think so, yeah. They still have, like, how much is it? 2.5 minutes left on their Aegis?
Yeah.
So they have plenty of time to regroup and then go for another push.
Just check for me what the Nature's Prophet has queued up. What he's changed
no.
from.
I mean, he's been useful, so I can't even complain. I feel like it's just if he just had the Force Staff and Soda Crest, he would be at 95% efficiency.
Epicenter, Meljule, does he see Notice? Notice could go for the charge in, but there's going to be the blink away. It's still going to be for the charge now, but the Bow Strike does connect. And Spirit Breaker has that Nether Strike if he wants to go back in. BKB's available now as well. Going to be able to Nether Strike back onto Smiling Knight. Smiling Knight, what can he do? Because the Bash comes out, trying to push him back inside that Wukong's Command. They've already lost 3. I think it's going to be 4. I think it's going to be 5. I think it's going to be GG.
That was a pretty solid performance from Winstrike. They looked shaky at the start, and with the dive at the tier 2, I was getting a little bit worried for them, but man, they looked so solid afterwards. It was like they evolved and instantly learned from their mistake.
Yeah, and where did that... I suppose it was just the Roche power potential that gave Winstrike the confidence to push into the base and take the fights, you know, knowing that the Monkey King, as well as the... I'm going back to that hook. I'm going back to the Monkey King being able to escape from the Dark Ascension, the hook combo, and that was just a really nice turning point for Winstrike to come back into the game. At 34 minutes, 25k net worth lead, 24 kills.
Yeah, look at the graph as well. It was completely even at like 27 minutes, and then suddenly something happened and boom, game is over.
Yeah, and it just crashes right down. That's a proper waterfall of a graph. Well, guys, thank you very much for tuning in. It is only Division 2 today. Winstrike take this in 2-0 fashion. Wingblade, have you enjoyed the DPC season so far?
Yeah, it's been nice. A lot of upsets, a lot of good and long games. I've been enjoying it a lot. I love the innovation as well. I was expecting the end of the patch cycle to be really still, but we constantly see new heroes. I'm very happy with that.
Well, it looks like we have an early Christmas present coming up as well. We're going to have an interview with one of the Winstrike players. Just waiting to see which one it is. And we'll get ourselves into that. We're going to take a quick couple of minute breaks while we wait. But we'll be back with the interview in about a minute or so. So let's just see who it's going to be. Because I'm being typed to as we speak. Okay, Winstrike, we're waiting for answers here. So we'll jump to a break and we'll be back, guys, with an interview in a few minutes. So we'll see you for the interview with Winstrike, hopefully in about a minute or so. But for now, just enjoy the splash screen. I know I do.